Oh, my, oh, my. Welcome back. Final segment of this hour. We have another big hour ahead in the next right after the news. We're going to talk to Congressman Tom Rice, who is looking to go to court against Barack Obama. And also Ellis Hennigan and I will go at it over several issues in the news this past week. But joining us right now is my friend, Westchester County Executive here in New York, Rob Astorino. First, sir, congratulations on your recent re-election in November.
Thank you, Steve. How are you?
I'm good. Good to talk to you. Always good to talk to you.
You too.
And before we get into what I have you on to talk about, which should be of concern to everybody in this country, and we've talked about it before on this show, your name came up quite prominently with a possible run for the governor's mansion here in New York against Andrew Cuomo down the road, and whether or not Chris Christie would support you, and he wouldn't answer, and then he called Cuomo and said, I didn't say I'd support him. So you caused quite I don't know, I guess you didn't cause it, but let me ask you right off the bat, is running for governor of New York against Andrew Cuomo something you're considering?
Well, let's clarify that. Cuomo called Christie.
Oh, and said, okay.
I did meet with Governor Christie in New Jersey for an hour.
When was this?
In Scottsdale, Arizona, at the Republican Governors Association a couple weeks ago. My wife and I went out and met with Mr. and Mrs. Christie for an hour, and really the conversation. And I've known Governor Christie since 2009, and we were talking about, and I was interested in, what is it like to run for governor with a small family, with a family of small kids. And the same thing is what happens if you get elected. How do you govern and deal with that with kids? So that was really the context of everything. We talked about a couple other things. But, look, Governor Christie, if I decide to run, and I didn't tell him I was running definitely, and I'm not a nominated candidate yet, although the Republican and conservatives have indicated that I would be their nominee. So if I do decide to run, and I'm really going through the motions now, Steve, to talk to the big donors and big groups and the really important people around New York State and nationally. And so far the reception's been very, very good. I've gotten even Democrats who have asked me to run, and Democratic donors, believe it or not. Do I think Governor Cuomo is beatable? I certainly do. This state is going in the wrong direction. He is simply managing the decline and not turning us around and leading as he should in a bold way, as other governors have done around the country. The corruption in New York is awful, worse than it's ever been. Taxes are the highest in the country. Business climate, we've gone from 49th to 50th, worst. So there's a lot of reasons why New Yorkers feel there should be a change, and so that process is what I'm dealing with right now. I mean, it's obviously a big step, but
what did you learn from Christie about running with a family? Was it helpful?
Yeah, it really was. He said, look, it's an adventure, and you have to make it an adventure for your kids. And my kids are 10, 8, and 4, and they've got to be part of the process. They've got to understand that Daddy could lose, or Daddy could win, and enjoy the time together when you can, this summer when they're not in school. And
kind of like radio, where you came from, and
exactly.
That's where you and I know each other from originally, right. And you could keep your job or get bounced and find another one.
That's right.
The business. But that's great. And now, are you confident that Governor Christie would support you over Cuomo if you were the nominee?
Yeah, not even a question. And for many reasons. First of all, he's the chairman of the Republican Governors Association. It's his job to help elect Republican governors around the country.
Yeah, but it was also his job at the convention to try to convince people to vote for Romney, and many people, maybe including Romney, might have felt that he wasn't focused on that.
Yeah, but I think if it comes down to it and we're moving the dial and getting in striking distance, I guarantee you Chris Christie will be very supportive. I'm confident in that. And I think, by the way, he's done a really good job as governor of New Jersey. I really do.
I'm a New Jersey resident, and you and I could have a phone call about that, or we could meet over dinner or something. But so when might you make a decision? The election would be when? Cuomo's term is up when?
Next year.
Okay, so that'd be a quick turnaround. So you have to decide relatively soon.
Well, look, Westchester County, for those who don't know, it borders New York City. It's 1 million people. It's a very influential county. It's 2-1 Democrat. It's the home of the Clintons.
And you've won twice.
And we won twice. In 2009, beat the Democratic machine. We won by 14 points, and we just got reelected, governing, by the way, by cutting taxes, cutting spending, taking on the unions, and winning, and got reelected by a 13-point margin. So And the thing I'm most proud
in
of,
a rematch, by the way.
Well, you know what
No?
I'm most proud of? No, it wasn't a rematch.
Oh,
It was
okay.
a different candidate.
Okay, my mistake. Yeah.
But the thing I'm most
I was
proud
thinking of Long Island somewhere. Yeah, go ahead.
That's right. It was Nassau County.
Yeah.
Long Island was a rematch, and that was a Republican blowout as well.
Yes.
Republicans won in many places throughout New York this past year. They won mayor's races in big cities. They won the Erie County legislature, which has been Democrat for 40 years. A lot of positive signs. But what I was most proud of this past election was that as a Republican in a 2-1 Democratic county, we won 30% of the Democratic vote. We got 61% of the Hispanic vote and 25% of the African-American vote.
That is very, very impressive. Listen, we don't have time to talk about the HUD fair housing, but
Yeah.
I really enjoyed our conversation, and I think it was good that we had it. We'll call you. You come back real soon, and when you announce, you let us know if not first, then second.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
All right, Rob, you take care.
Happy New Year to you.
You too. Merry Christmas in regards to the family. All right, folks. Rob Astorino, nationally, if you don't know the name, write it down because I believe he will be, just my guess, he will be the Republican nominee running against Andrew Cuomo if Cuomo doesn't seek national office. Well, either way, he'll run for governor re-election. And he will beat Governor Cuomo. Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.